Hi there, I'm Tree and I'm the scared gay kid in the locker room. Welcome to my channel. I talk about video games, music, and whatever else I want to. While it's become routine to objectify women in video games, if you're only scratching the surface, I don't think that's quite evil enough. Today, we're joining the ranks of the elite few who dare to discuss the real gems in gaming, the men worth pounding. Your desk over. That's right, we're here to talk about the guys who make you pause, lean a little closer, and maybe even question your life choices just a little bit. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourself for a lineup of video game men that made me emotionally and maybe even physically lose my mind over the years. And naturally, we're starting strong with one man who's bound to haunt your dreams, Pyramid Head. You can't talk about horror games without running into Pyramid Head. Known in Silent Hill 2 as the Red Pyramid Thing, he's not just a villain, he's a 7-foot-tall villain. The embodiment of James Sunderland's guilt and trauma. Imagine your issues showing up as a giant brute dragging a sword the size of a compact car. That's Pyramid Head. He doesn't just haunt you, he judges you, silently lurking and showing up at the worst times, like guilt in physical form. This guy isn't just about cheap scares, he's pure psychological horror. He's the kind of figure who leaves you staring at the screen in shock, questioning what you've just witnessed and maybe your own moral compass too. Then there's his aesthetic. The giant triangular helmet, the bloodied apron, the sheer bulk. It's giving medieval executioner meets nightmare feel. His raw power and stoic presence makes him impossible to ignore. He's been immortalized in games, merch, and countless cosplays. And, of course, Rule 34. I've never actually played Silent Hill, but I've seen Pyramid Head interpreted. Sometimes he's the horrifying terror you'd expect, and other times, let's just say he's rocking the loincloth and the confidence to pull it off. Pyramid Head is more than just a monster. He's terrifying, symbolic, and weirdly fascinating. Whether he's punishing James, haunting your dreams, or showing up in your social feed in ways you weren't prepared for, he's an icon of horror with a strange, undeniable allure. Saddle up for Cole Cassidy, Overwatch's sharpshooting cowboy who somehow makes the apocalypse look stylish. Once a member of the Deadlock gang, then becoming a Blackwatch operative, Cassidy blends grit, charm, and just enough swagger to make him unforgettable. He's the kind of cowboy who could bench press your troubles and still have time to hit you with a one-liner. And while he might come across as a laid-back gunslinger, there's a moral code under that hat as dusty as the Wild West itself. Consider my Western cowboy kink satisfied. Cassidy's ultimate, "It's high noon," is the stuff of Overwatch legend. Hearing his iconic catchphrase is a rush of adrenaline for his team and sheer panic for the enemy. Whether he's fanning the hammer or landing headshots, Cassidy's calm under pressure makes him the definition of cool. But his interactions with teammates reveal a lot of heart, grounding him as more than just a sharpshooter with great aim. But let's be real, Cassidy's appeal isn't just his skills, it's the look. Broad shoulders, chiseled jawline, and that well-trimmed beard, it's cowboy fantasy turned up to 11. His wide-brimmed hat, red poncho, and mechanical arm all scream rugged hero with a mysterious past. And then there's the smirk, that perfect mix of confidence and mischief that says, yeah, I know you're watching. When I was making this list, I was wondering if I'd include anyone that's a little bit out of the norm. Well, here it is. I'm in love with a red shark. Let's dive into Prince Sidon, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Zora heartthrob. Sidon isn't just the crown prince of the Zora Kingdom, he's the ultimate hype man. Picture Prince Charming, but make him a competitive swimmer with shark DNA. From the moment he flexes those biceps and flashes his toothy grin, he's got knight in shining armor written all over him. Add a jawline that could cut through Hyrule's toughest terrain and you've got the full package. Sidon's not just there to look good though. He's fiercely loyal to his people and a steadfast ally to Link, standing by his side through thick and thin, even when divine beasts are involved. He's the kind of partner who believes in you wholeheartedly, and his relentless optimism is infectious. In a world of skeptical NPCs, Sidon's glass half full energy is a breath of fresh air. Visually, Sidon is, well, goddammit, there's no getting around it, he's a shark. His crimson skin, fin-like hair, and perpetual grin makes him stand out from the crowd. He's towering, athletic, and somehow strikes the perfect balance between intimidating and approachable. It's like he's designed to slay monsters by day and then check in on how you're feeling after. Let's face it, he's every bit as magnetic as he is heroic. And then there's the fandom. Sidon's instant popularity turned him into a Zelda icon, inspiring everything from fan art to fanfics. And yes, those kinds of fanfics. For me, Sidon wasn't just memorable, he was dangerously close to becoming a full-blown crush. Whether flexing his fins or cheering you on mid-battle, Sidon is the kind of character who's impossible not to love. Twilight Princess's Link stands apart as a darker, more mysterious version of the hero of time. Emerging from the humble Ordon village, he's thrust into a battle to free Hyrule from the Twilight Realm. He's not the cheerful, bright-eyed savior. This Link feels more like a reluctant champion, one who'd probably rather stick to herding goats, but can't ignore his deep sense of duty. That mix of vulnerability and quiet strength gives him an edge that makes him unforgettable. This version of Link carries a quiet intensity, tackling his destiny with a stoicism that's hard to shake. And let's not forget the wolf transformation, a raw, untamed element that added a feral layer to his character. Whether clad in his tunic or prowling as a shadowy beast, this Link exudes power and danger in equal measure. His design leans into a gothic, otherworldly vibe. Sharp features, piercing blue eyes, and windswept hair makes him look like he stepped out of a dark fantasy novel. His outfit, a mix of leather and chainmail, perfectly matches his rugged, serious demeanor. Then there's his gaze, brooding, intense, and full of inner conflict, drawing you in without saying a word. This isn't a hero who wants the spotlight. He's here to do the job and move on, leaving everyone wondering about the man behind the mission. Link, in this context, possessed a mix of resilience, quiet strength, and wild energy that cemented him as one of the most iconic versions of the character. His brooding edge, paired with the wolf motif, gave him that same magnetic, almost untouchable quality that left a lasting impression on the Zelda series. And, well, me. Zhongli, the embodiment of elegance and power in Genshin Impact, is a literal god in disguise. As the human form of the ancient Geo-Archon Rex Lapis, he carries 6,000 years of history, and that level of mystery and wisdom is intoxicating. Working as a consultant for the Wangshan funeral parlor, Zhongli blends reserved, cultured charm with his godly gravitas. With his low, velvety voice, impeccable style, and dignified manner, he exudes quiet confidence that has captivated fans worldwide. Zhongli's appeal lies in his subtlety. He doesn't flaunt his immense power or divine status. Instead, he's a man of contracts and traditions, valuing order in human life. His wisdom shines through in understated ways, but when he does act, like calling down a goddamn meteor with his Planet Befall ultimate, it's unforgettable. He's a figure who feels ancient and all-knowing, yet somehow grounded and approachable. Visually, Zhongli is perfection. His black and gold attire, paired with amber-tipped hair and golden eyes that seem to hold ancient secrets, radiates sophistication. Every movement is graceful, every glance calculated. He's the kind of person who'd dominate any high society gathering with just his presence. And then there's that deep voice. Thank you, Keith Silverstein. It's smooth enough to read your grocery list and make it captivating. Despite his godlike aura, Zhongli has an endearing human side. He's constantly forgetting to bring Mora, despite his expensive tastes. This whimsical flaw makes him feel less like a deity and more like a friend who'd treat you to the fanciest meal, if he remembered his wallet. While his initial gameplay left fans underwhelmed, their love for him pushed MiHoYo to rework his kit, turning Zhongli into a true powerhouse. For many though, his timeless style and that voice were already enough. Let's just say I might have spent more than I should have wishing for him. And honestly, no regrets. Astarion, the dashing vampire rogue from Baldur's Gate 3, has captured hearts with his sharp wit, tragic past, and ever so arrogant grin. A former vampire spawn enslaved for centuries, Astarion's life was one of cruel servitude, forced to obey his master's darkest commands. The tadpole incident that kicks off the game grants him a twisted form of freedom, leaving him vulnerable yet opportunistic. His journey of reclaiming autonomy is as seductive as it is dangerous. Beneath Astarion's charisma and cutting quips lies a deeply layered character. His most unforgettable moments reveal raw truths about his past, from the horrors of his enslavement to his struggle with darker urges. Watching him wrestle with his trauma while learning to act on his own terms gives him a haunting depth, and when he flashes that fanged, mischievous smile, it's hard not to feel the pull. Visually, Astarion is a gothic romance come to life. Pale skin, piercing red eyes, perfectly wavy hair, and attire that screams rogue sophistication. His smirk teeters between mischievous and menacing, while his easy confidence keeps him unpredictable and alluring. He's trouble and you know it, but that's part of the appeal. His personality is equally attractive, cunning, charismatic, and deeply vulnerable. Astarion indulges his darker side with sharp banter and morally gray acts, but beneath it all is someone grappling with years of torment. His desire for freedom and control is raw and relatable, even if his methods can be manipulative. Neil Newbin's voice acting added layers of intensity to Astarion, solidifying his status as a fan favorite. From memes to fan art, his fandom is intense and devoted, just like the character himself. Astarion might be trouble, but he's the kind you can't resist following into the shadows. Cloud Strife isn't just a character, he's an icon. The spiky-haired ex-soldier from Final Fantasy VII has redefined the brooding hero archetype since 1997. Haunted by trauma and fractured memories, Cloud starts as a cocky mercenary, but his bravado masks a fragile, vulnerable core. His journey explores his complicated past with Shinra, his relationships with Aerith and Tifa, and his growth into a hero with a purpose beyond himself. Some of Cloud's most memorable moments include his epic confrontations with Sephiroth and the emotional revelations about his identity. And then there's the legendary Honeybee Inn scene in the Final Fantasy VII Remake, where he steps into the spotlight in a dress, showing his rare humor and vulnerability while breaking his usually serious demeanor. Cloud is the quintessential fantasy warrior, tall, lean, and wielding the iconic Buster Sword like it's weightless. His glowing Mako blue eyes and spiky blonde hair are instantly recognizable, paired with an expression that conveys both quiet intensity and hidden pain. Cloud's look walks the line between heroism and mystery, capturing the imagination of fans for decades. What sets Cloud apart is his personality, a mix of bravery, dry wit, and quiet introspection. Beneath his reserved, brooding exterior is a sharp sense of humor, often seen in his deadpan remarks and sarcastic observations. His journey from glory-seeking soldier to protector makes him a hero forged by hardship, not perfection, which makes his struggles feel relatable and compelling. Cloud's impact on gaming and pop culture is undeniable. From his influence on countless heroes in games and anime to his enduring popularity through remakes and spin-offs, Cloud Strife remains a legend who set the standard for complex, unforgettable protagonists. Zagreus, the rebellious son of Hades, is the prince of charm, wit, and relentless determination. In Hades, he's not your typical underworld royal. He's the friend who shows up at your door with a mischievous grin and a few more battle scars than last time. His endless attempts to escape the underworld aren't just about rebellion. They're fueled by his quest to uncover the truth about his mother. Every failure only makes him more determined, and watching him dust himself off and dive back in is nothing short of inspiring. What makes Zagreus so captivating are the relationships he builds along the way. His bonds with Megara and Thanatos are rich with chemistry and complexity, offering some of the most genuine, heartfelt moments in the game. Whether you're romancing the fierce Fury, the brooding god of death, or both because Zagreus is that kind of prince, his connections feel refreshingly real and unapologetically queer. Then there's his look, a lean, athletic build, ashy black hair crowned with laurel leaves, and a confident smirk that says, "I've got this." His black and red aesthetic perfectly balances underworld royalty with ready to brawl, and everything about him screams that same charisma. Beneath the sarcasm and charm, though, is a deeply compassionate character. Zagreus genuinely cares about the people in his life, whether it's supporting Achilles or befriending Dusa. Sure, he's impulsive and dives into danger head first, but it's that headstrong confidence that makes him unforgettable. Zagreus isn't just a prince of the underworld, he's the rare hero who makes every battle feel personal. Leon Scott Kennedy isn't just a video game character, he's the epitome of an action hero meets heartthrob in the world of survival horror. First introduced as a rookie cop in Resident Evil 2, Leon has grown from an idealistic officer to a battle-hardened government agent, surviving everything from zombie hordes to bioweapons with wit and style. His first day on the job, coinciding with the Raccoon City outbreak, set the tone. Leon's life is chaos, but he always manages to rise to the occasion. Leon's defining moments span the series, but his trek through Raccoon City in Resident Evil 2 remains iconic. By Resident Evil 4, Leon is tougher and more seasoned, juggling high-stakes missions like rescuing the president's daughter while throwing out sarcastic one-liners. His complex relationship with Ada Wong adds emotional depth, showing a man torn between duty and feelings he can't fully act on. Physically, Leon is every bit the action hero. Tall, lean, with side-swept blonde hair and piercing blue eyes that scream charisma. Whether in his RPD uniform or his RE4 leather jacket, he balances ruggedness and style effortlessly. Bloodied and battered, Leon still manages to look like he just stepped out of a romance movie. I'm getting steamy just thinking about it. What makes Leon captivating is his mix of bravery, vulnerability, and dry humor. He's cool under pressure, but not unbreakable. His idealism clashes with the horrors he faces, creating a hero who's as relatable as he is iconic. Leon often sacrifices his own well-being for others, making him both selfless and emotionally guarded. Leon's legacy has made him one of Capcom's most beloved characters, celebrated across games, films, and fandoms. Whether sparking debates about Resident Evil supremacy or inspiring countless fan creations, Leon's blend of courage, charm, and that smirk in the face of danger keeps him at the top. He's a character you can't help but root for, and swoon over too. Zack Fair is a character who's left an indelible mark on both the Final Fantasy series and me. First introduced in Final Fantasy VII, but fully realized in Crisis Core, Zack is the soldier who brings warmth and optimism to the series' darker themes. Unlike many stoic protagonists, Zack is relentlessly upbeat, driven by his ideals and a genuine desire to protect those he loves. He's a hero with heart, fighting not just out of duty, but because he believes in something greater. Zack's story is as tragic as it is inspiring, with its defining moment arriving in Crisis Core's unforgettable climax. After facing corruption within Shinra and forming deep bonds with Cloud and Aerith, Zack makes a legendary last stand, sacrificing everything to protect his friends. His bravery and loyalty shine through, and his fate transforms him from a supporting character into one of the franchise's most beloved heroes. His legacy continues to echo, even in Final Fantasy VII Remake, reigniting fans' admiration for his sacrifice. Zack embodies the ideal soldier, athletic with spiky black hair and an effortlessly cool demeanor. His iconic first-class uniform and the Buster Sword symbolize his strength and the legacy he passes on to Cloud. With a confident stance and an easygoing smile, Zack exudes a boy-next-door charm that makes him both relatable and aspirational. He's optimistic, courageous, and deeply caring, always motivating those around him with his signature phrase, "Embrace your dreams." His trusting nature is both his strength and his flaw, making his sacrifices feel even more poignant. Zack's faith in others and pure-hearted heroism ensure he remains unforgettable. Zack Fair's legacy is one of hope, sacrifice, and inspiration. He's not just a precursor to Cloud, he's a hero in his own right, a reminder of what it means to fight for your dreams no matter the cost. And there you have it, 10 men in gaming who've made us feel all kinds of things, from butterflies to existential confusion. We've covered everything from rugged cowboys to princely sharkmen, emo swordsmen to vampire rogues. Maybe you found yourself agreeing, maybe you noticed I have a type, but video games are full of characters designed to make an impression, and these guys have certainly done that. So tell me, who's your ultimate gaming crush? Did I miss a favorite, or is there someone who makes you click play just to see them on screen? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments, and if you enjoyed this ranking, don't forget to like and subscribe for more questionable yet entertaining lists just like this one. Until next time, keep swooning and keep gaming. Bye!